Welcome to your 20-minute podcast with David Brower, where we do our best to give you useful information in 20 minutes or less. Now, here's your host, 5-time Voice Arts Awards nominee, David Brower.
Thanks, Ellen. This is David Brower with your 20-minute podcast. Our special guest from San Diego is Rhoberta Shaler, PhD. She is the relationship help doctor, provides urgent and ongoing care for relationships in crisis. Her mission is to help people stop tolerating abuse. Even the U.S. Marines have sought her help. She's the author of 16 books, including Escaping the Hijackal Trap and Stop. That's crazy making. She hosts some podcasts. Her YouTube channel for relationship help has reached over 200,000 views. And I'll probably take the whole 20 minutes just talking about your successes and your history. Welcome, Doc. Good to have you here.
Oh, thank you. I'm delighted to be with you.
So first and foremost, what's a hijackal?
A hijackal, great question. I created this term, David, because too many people were going to the internet talking about troubling relationships, and they were getting back psychological diagnoses as though the internet were some kind of psychological professional. And what's really important for us to understand are the patterns, traits, and cycles of relentlessly difficult, toxic people. So I created the term and trademarked the term hijackals. And my definition for that is hijackals are people who hijack relationships for their own purposes and then relentlessly scavenge them for power, status, and control.
Totally scary. And I'm sure, and you know better than most, I'm sure there are countless hijackals out there that we don't even sometimes pay attention to because it's part of our everyday life and what's normal is normal, right?
Well, that's right. And if we happen to have been raised by a hijackal, we think it's particularly comfortably uncomfortable because it's familiar.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It is terrifying. And the research shows that the numbers are growing.
What triggered you to create the hijackal? Where did that epiphany, if you will, come from?
Well, I have always worked in conflict management and relationship, whether that's corporate or personal. So as I realized more and more that this field, which I experienced, I was raised by two hijackals, therefore totally unwittingly you go and you marry one, and then you attract them, and they are comfortably uncomfortable. And as an empathic person, hijackals do not have empathy. So as an empathic person, you want to nurture and nourish, and you think that you can help. And you have to learn those differentials. So because of my experience, because of my PhD, it all kind of came together, and I said, no, I have the unique opportunity to be that go-to person for people who are experiencing this, not just from the book learning point of view, but I walked through it and had to heal from it.
And that experience those kinds of experiences, as traumatic and painful as they can be, I mean, they really help set you on a course to help other people in ways that maybe you wouldn't have been able to otherwise, right?
Well, yes, people always say, oh, thank you. I've been to so many professionals. And what happens, David, and this is the sad part, is if you think you're in relationship with a toxic person, perhaps a hijackal, and you're hopeful, so you go for couples counseling, for instance, and if people are not familiar with this, they don't have the ability, as I have, or the experience to recognize what's going on, the hijackal is delighted because the therapist or the counselor or whomever they're seeing is someone that the hijackal believes they can manipulate into seeing things their way. So they'll exploit and seduce them into agreeing with them. And so the person, the partner of the hijackal who went to please have someone see what's going on, comes away doubly wounded.
You are talking about my first marriage. So when it was, I didn't realize I would have used the term. My father was certainly a hijackal. I married a hijackal because I always wanted to please my dad and I couldn't. And so I always wanted to please my wife and I couldn't. And so we went to couples counseling and she went to one visit, realized that she could not manipulate the counselor. And so she never came back. Right. And my counselor looked at me one day and she says, so how do you feel about marrying your dad?
Exactly.
And the world was lifted off my shoulders because I had no clue. I didn't know what I didn't know because, like you said, everything was comfortably normal. I mean, it was
Yeah,
Wow.
you're used to being in that level of tension and uncertainty, and you're also hooked into thinking that you can do it right or righter, and then finally something good will happen, and that's a fallacy. It doesn't happen like
Well, and
that.
if you have that bit of the people pleaser gene that I've always had, that makes it even more challenging, doesn't it?
Well, that's what happens when you're raised by a hijackal. They
Yeah.
want you to run as fast as you can to please them, and then they enjoy moving the marker so you can never please them.
Yeah, exactly right. Tell me about the Marine Corps experience. It's fascinating to me. My son was in the Marines. My grandson's in the Marines. So it's hoorah. I'm curious about that.
Right. Well, of course, I live in San Diego, so I have all kinds of military around. And
Yeah.
when they have difficulty on their teams, they used to call me because they would be conflict. And not only would there be conflict that was interpersonal personality type conflict, but then there would be exacerbating circumstances, which is the variety of people who are there, military people, retired military, civilians, supervisory, excluded supervisory, management, all of that. And then you put one person from each of those groups into a team, and then you're going to have trouble with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was it.
So, and especially you put all those kinds of egos, if you will, together, the testosterone, the power struggles, the I know it, you
Estrogen.
don't, estrogen. I mean, the whole gambit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what a wonderful experience that you were able to have with them.
Yeah, I worked with them in various ways, speaking to their leadership development teams, giving seminars, actually working, mediating, and training in a variety of things. I've worked for the Marines, I've worked for the Navy.
So you work one on one with couples. I mean, you work
I do.
large groups. You do Zoom. You have podcasts everywhere. I mean, you are literally everywhere in a good way, and so it's pretty easy for people to reach out to you, isn't it?
It's very easy. They can go to my website, transformingrelationship.com. And the reason that's the name of my website is that we need to transform the relationship with ourselves in order to transform the relationship with others. So, transforming relationship, whichever relationship, is something that becomes something we have power over.
And the question on your website: Are you in a toxic relationship? How do they know if they
Well,
are or
first of
not?
all, you're asking the question.
Yeah.
So,
Well, good call.
there's that this doesn't feel good feeling.
Yeah.
Like I am always on the brunt. Everything is my fault. I can never do anything right. That's something that when you feel that helplessness, hopelessness, can I ever do anything right? You're likely in a toxic relationship because hijackals blame you for everything, the weather, the IRS, anything, because they cannot tolerate one moment of pain or shame coming to them or blame.
There's a sense, I think, with a lot of people that uncomfortable is uncomfortable, and but they don't know what to do about it. They just that's their
Right.
norm, right? So what and then that affects their self-esteem, so then they're even less likely to reach out to a professional like you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get them to flip that switch, for lack of a better term?
Well, first of all, that's why I have two podcasts and a large YouTube channel. I have over 350 videos. So for people who are just maybe sitting alone saying, I think I'm in this, they go to my YouTube videos, which my channel's called For Relationship Help, HELP,
Hmm.
For Relationship Help. So they might just quietly do that in the late night hours, and then erase their browsing history. Because hijackals will come along and look to see,
Oh my God, that is so true.
yeah, hijackals always practice surveillance. And I talk about this a lot, David, because surveillance looks like texting you, wanting you to text them wherever you are, over texting you, blowing up your phone, having cameras, putting GPS on your phone, putting trackers on your car. Um, they always want to know where you are and they want to have power over you.
Yeah. Ugh.
And so yes, exactly. So these things happen. So if somebody is doing that to you, good sign that you better look at whether or not you have a hijackal. Where are you? It's only 15 minutes to get home from work and it's now 20 minutes. Where are you?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
And traffic's not an excuse. There's
No,
no
I
excuse, right?
compensated for traffic in my estimation.
Exactly.
So where are you?
Oh my God, that is
Yeah.
absolutely right. The website is forrelationshiphelp.com, transforming relationships with Dr. Rhoberta Shaler. She is the
Yeah, can I
relationship
just clarify
doctor.
that because you
Yeah.
put an S on it? I don't, yes, you can get there by going to forrelationshiphelp.com. You
Hmm.
can also get there by going to transformingrelationship.com.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Very good. Thank you for the catch.
Hmm.
And there you'll see ways to get help. There's checklists. You can learn about the hijackals. There's podcasts. There's videos. There's blogs. There's, my goodness gracious, there are so many things to click on to go, oh yeah, that's me. And then you can just reach out. And if nothing else, as you indicated, keep looking, keep reading, go to that YouTube channel
Yes.
and start to get a little self-induced self-esteem, if you will, right? So you
Well,
can
or
get the
at least
courage to do something.
sorry, yes, at least get to the place where you realize maybe it's not my fault.
Yeah.
And I do have, David, a membership program that's totally off social media. So if you're ever concerned that you're being, people are lurking or looking to see where you are or making false accounts and going into groups to watch what you're doing,
Hmm.
I have a membership program. You'll find it at the website. Just go to Circles.
Okay.
And right now, every level, there are 3 levels of membership. Even the first level at $5 a month forever, you get my 21 Steps to Empowered Emotional Savvy email course over 47 days. So everybody can manage $5 a month, just one latte less, right?
Absolutely.
And that's why I created it, because if you need an entry point where you're not really ready to jump, but I do have an offer. The first session for anyone is $97 so that we can have a full hour, talk about what your best next steps are. And you find that again on the website. But you can also shortcut it by going to beaclient.com.
Beaclient.com. And fascinating. Just going to the circles on your website and taking a look at the support circle, the learning circle, the growth circle. I mean, you can read through those bullet points fairly quickly, see what strikes you, where the epiphany is, where the aha is, where the question comes from, and then realize, oh, that's all it costs. Well, at least I could put my toe in the water for that little bit of amount, and then build your confidence and courage from there, right?
Yes, and I would do it quickly because the prices are going to go up in a month.
Yeah.
So join in. I mean, any level you get to try it out for $5 a month. So why
Why
not?
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, especially at the growth level, the highest level, which $5 for the first month, $25 a month after that. That gives you access to 2 group coaching calls with me called Ask Me Anything calls. So you can learn right there. And all the other ones, there are 6 threads, discussion threads going on at all times. So you'll get other people's experience. You'll know you're not alone. You'll get some insights for others, but I'm in there all the time answering people's questions. So it's the closest you can come.
Being not alone's a big deal, huh?
It's a really big deal because hijackals isolate you. They
Yeah.
want power over you. They'll try to isolate you from your friends and your family. They like to take. I just got a note this morning. Someone said, I don't know what to do. Uh, After we got married, he insisted we move to a different country. Ooh, big red flag. What do I do now? Well, she's totally isolated. In this case,
Yeah.
it's a woman. And she's totally isolated, no family, no friends, and then no car.
Oh man.
Right, and this happens.
My wife is a public health nurse, and so she goes door to door and takes care of newborn babies and moms on Medicaid. And one of her clients had that experience where her husband took her to Russia. She had no family. She had him and the baby. What else could she do?
Yep.
And it's just terrifying. It's terrifying when you hear those experiences, and it's so awesome. What a blessing for her, that lady, to be able to reach out to you and ask that question, because that gives others the courage to, well, gosh dang it, if she can do it, I'm. I just got
Yeah.
goosebumps thinking about that. I mean, it's amazing what you do and how you touch people and change lives. It's such a gift.
Well, I like to make it available, David. I've been in this work for a long time, and every morning I still get up and it flips my skirt and floats my boat,
There you go.
because I can help people. And the thing is that I do all my work by video conferencing. So wherever anybody is, we can talk just like you and I are. We can
Yeah.
see each other. We can have a whole conversation, and you're not alone. Right? You are not alone, and you can get the help that you need, the professional help that you need. Not just talk to your friend somewhere, but somebody who can actually guide you out of what's happening into healing and know what your next best steps are.
And instead of venting and sharing your stuff on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all those things, like you said at the very beginning, and in the hopes of some kind of counseling, oh my God, no, go to your website and just, talk with somebody who gets it, who knows it, who can help you. And your personality, your calm, your communication. I mean, everything is inviting for people to reach out to you. It's really a gift that you have.
Thank you.
And you have 16 books out there, including the Hijackal Trap and Stop podcast. You can get those on her website as well. Emotional Savvy, Save Your Sanity, and Focus on Forward. The YouTube channel for relationship help. And everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, you can just plug in her name, Rhoberta with an H. That's Rhoberta, Shaler, Shaler. And if you put in her name pretty much anywhere on the social world, you will undoubtedly pop up, right?
I will indeed.
And if people want to reach out to you and just, I kind of want to put my toe in the water, but I don't know how, what's a good way for them to do that?
Well, the best thing is to have a one-on-one chat with me for that hour, right?
Yep.
BeAClient.com. But if you're not ready to do that, then become a member. Go to transformingrelationship.com and click on the circles button, or you can go directly there by going to optimizecircles.com.
Perfect.
And then for $5, you can chat.
You got $5. And the cool thing about that, you spend $5, it's private, it's confidential, nobody's looking over your shoulder. And how can you not spend $5 just to go, oh God, that feels good.
Totally off social media. So that's the big thing, David, that people need to realize, because too many hijackals are surveilling you all the time. So they will go and make fake accounts that will look good to somebody who accepts you as a member into their group. I have groups on Facebook. I'm trying to fade them out because I want people to be safe and come over to my website.
Absolutely.
Where there isn't the possibility that somebody's aunt or mother or whatever has seeped into the group and is now reporting to the hijackal. No, we don't want that.
That's terrifying. And it goes on all the time, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Folks, spend $5. Just saying. Just saying. Reach out. Go to forrelationshiphelp.com and you can get pretty much anywhere from there. Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, thank you so much. And again, congratulations on what you do, how you do it. It's really a gift. Really good.
Thank you so much, David.
Listen to your 20-minute podcast with David Brower on the go. Downloads are available on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, any podcast app, and on our website at davidbrowervo.com/your20-minute podcast. Until next time, thank you for listening.